You're now rocking with yours truly. Let's get it kicked off right. This is his story in the making. His story in the making. So I figured it only right we started off with his story, right? My story. Vibe with me, people. See, my mama told me listen, brothers told me to watch. While they was in the kitchen with the pan and the pots. My sister up in college brought her home to the block. And now my other sister pregnant with a little one to watch. What was I supposed to see? What was I supposed to see? Yeah. What was I supposed to see? And who was I supposed to be in this cold world? By the time I was 9 or 8, I was forced to differentiate between what my parents were telling me and what my brothers were showing me. And what this did was unknowingly place me on a thin line between innocence and accountability. So my reality was I watched my brothers seem to have everything, while I watched my parents struggle trying to coincide the concept of paying bills with punctuality, and the results was hardships. And while my parents went through their hardships, my brothers took narcotics, baked and propped it till it was hard then. Stood out on the blocks with one eye out for the cops and got rid of all it. Took the proceeds to buy things they don't need simply because they could afford it. See, this is just a portion of my life recorded, so bear with me. I never hear anyone tell the story of the little boy trapped in a position of devil's advocate where right never turned out quite right and wrong seems so adamant, where being less fortunate is so average that poverty is comfort's adjective. So falling victim to a have-not mentality is just a part of collateral damages, and we live it. My eldest sister, she made it to school. My brothers resorted to the streets, and my other older sister is a single mother of 4. My father potentially destroyed the relationship and rapport held between he and my mother some 20-odd years before. My parents worked like slaves, so in their younger days I had to help take care of the other 4 siblings that came after me. But what baffles me is that all them years in the projects, and not once did I feel like I was poor, even while smelling the urine and paraphernalia and watching the roaches crawl across the floor. See, I attribute that to my parents. But one thing that was astoundingly apparent in the eyes of a kid was the flamboyancy of my brother's affairs eclipsing what my parents did. Cause see, my parents showed me problems while my brothers showed me profit. My parents told me to listen while my brothers told me to watch them, so I had to take what my parents said and what my brothers did and come up with my own plan, because one thing that I learned from the both of them was that I had to be my own man. So around age 15, 16, I got on my grown man. I looked swift and I took shit from no man. See, time eventually told the tale of the little boy trapped in a position of devil's advocate. One of my older brothers jailed, serving 6 years for an accident. My other brother was able to slip out, took a legit route with 3 kids, and now struggles to be a dad to them, because for the last 26 some odd years, his dad fled from being a dad to him. So the flamboyant affairs my brothers once shared got dimmer. And I learned they only edified their external because their entire struggle was inner. So instead of solving their problems, they coded them, covered their insecurities and gloated them. And they believed society when they said that there wasn't any hope for them. See, they took the balls out of their hands and the books out of their faces and gave coke to them, only to later prosecute, lock, give 3 hots in a cot, clean drawers, a jumpsuit, and soap to them. So now I'm forced to differentiate between what my brothers became and what my parents are in order to dictate and control what I'm becoming. My ancestors went through extremely too much for me to consider the option of running, so I stand loquacious with a mic at my mouth and a gun in my hand, holding in the other a list of demands, acting as a catalyst for my impaired, deprived fellow man. See, you in poverty, you in the war, you close the door on ignorance, self-hatred, belligerence, self-mutilation, the AIDS epidemic, racism, violence, the education epidemic. You eventually restore the preservation of a nation. But see, in order to alter a structure, you have to first address its foundation. I said in order to alter a structure, you have to first address its foundation. And that answer yields a self-explanation. Let's go!